Britain's military industry trades in violence, instability and pollution. Companies like BAE and Rolls-Royce sell products that traumatize children, maim bodies and deny ordinary people a healthy and dignified life. In return, they receive high status and political influence. The industry is also a major source of greenhouse gas emissions. It released 6.5 million tonnes of carbon dioxide equivalent into the Earth's atmosphere between 2017 and 2018. 6.5 million tonnes. There were 60 entire countries who released fewer greenhouse gases than this during the same period. If militarised capitalism continues like this, then civilization will collapse within the century is a very real possibility. I don't want to alarm anyone, but it's a fucking alarming situation. Crop failures, droughts, mass migration, flooding, these trends are already beginning to emerge, and it is poor communities, generally communities of colour, who are on the front line of environmental breakdown. These are communities who have contributed the least to climate change, and whose land and labour have been violently appropriated through colonisation to fund the expansion of the toxic industries that got us into this mess. Britain is a global leader in toxic industries. It therefore has a serious responsibility to get the ball rolling and transform our society, so that we can live without fossil fuels, without exploitation, without violence, and with love and compassion and respect for each other and the land that sustains us. Dismantling Britain's gas-guzzling military-industrial sector is the perfect place to start. And here's how we do it.
Step number 1. End all arms exports.
Stopping the sale of British-made weapons to countries like Israel, Saudi Arabia, the USA, is not only morally sane, it's also an environmental necessity. It would mean less extraction of natural resources and a significant reduction in the deadly emissions caused by transportation and manufacturing. It would also allow for the hundreds of millions of pounds that the British government gives to arms dealers each year in the form of export subsidies. Yeah, the British government gives arms dealers hundreds of millions of pounds of taxpayers' money each year. This money would be so much better invested into basic welfare services that so many people in our country desperately need.
Step number 2. Halve arms procurement.
So if we start by just halving the amount of weapons and military equipment that the MOD purchases each year, we can save £7 billion annually. £7 billion. This would fund a major investment in the green energy sector and the retrofitting of homes.
Step number 3. End foreign deployment.
Scientists for Global Responsibility argue that Britain's military strategy has to change if we are serious about reducing carbon emissions. They suggest that the armed forces remain small and territorial. Personnel can live close to their families, and they can serve the nation through emergency relief efforts, as they did during the coronavirus pandemic. They can also help regenerate Britain's wildlife through reforestation and rewilding programs. And best of all, this transformation would not necessarily involve the loss of any jobs. It could actually create more than we already have. Campaign Against the Arms Trade estimate that up to 335,000 jobs could be created by major investment in wind and marine energy. This would more than compensate for the 115,000 arms industries workers whose skills would need to be transferred under this new strategy. The skilled minds and technological expertise sucked up by defence industries could be used to make serious advancements in green technology that serves people and not power-hungry, sociopathic, bloodthirsty tyrants. There is seriously no alternative. Climate breakdown is not some future problem. It's happening now, and we have to act now. Unfortunately, tied into this industry are huge egos, power, money, and status. So our government and their business allies are not going to make these transformational changes off their own backs. We, the people, must organise collectively to be the change and demand the change. A decarbonised, demilitarised world is possible. A world informed by justice and respect and love and compassion is possible.
And only by coming together in love and solidarity and connecting our fights so we stand together against militarism, against toxic capitalism, against imperialism and racism, can we achieve true justice for people and planet.
If you're feeling lost or don't know where to start, here are some organisations you can join or donate to.